Liposide IR, Metabolic Accelerator Powder, Maximum Thermogenesis, Maximum Energy, Maximum Appetite Control. Only from Evogen Nutrition.
We're going to talk about a little bit about nutrition and supplementation on how that's going to maximize the workout and blood flow. People ask me, well, why is your fat burner powder peppery? It's because I got real shit in it. So it's actually got several different types of pepper extracts to help raise your metabolism. And we're going to talk about why these products are meant to be designed to take at certain times. We're going to talk a little bit about cardio and why I'm such a firm believer in morning cardio, especially fasted cardio, and what I believe fasted is versus what everybody else thinks that fasted is. So I'm going to set up all of the different definitions so that way you can understand how it works. And I have a couple different ways of fasting my clients. One would be literally taking no amino acid pre-workout. That's very rare. I usually have them take AminoJect. And then sometimes if it's somebody that's really ahead, we might even put in a scoop of protein pre-cardio in the morning. So what we do is we make sure that you're getting those kinds of, we call, lack of a better term, anabolic armor going on, so that we try to make sure that the cardio isn't becoming too much in terms of the catabolic aspects of it, aren't being too strong in regards to losing muscle. So we want to make sure that we're maximizing the fat burn, so that we're doing it in the morning, so that your body has got really good low blood sugar, so you're more likely to burn fat. But we're also adding in things to help minimize the muscle loss. And that's what I try to make sure to maintain, and that's what I've been good at.
So we usually start our cardio. I do the cardio year round, but we usually up the cardio about 16 weeks out. So I usually start my cutting for my prep. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I gotta make sure that I'm getting my amino acids in me right away. It's gonna hold up, preserve the muscle mass. I stack that with the carnitine, so our carnitine, as well as liposide IR. I actually was taking liposide IR during my prep before it was even released. We're beta sampling it all prep, figuring out which formula we like the best, and I think we nailed it. So if you guys get a chance to try that today, it's probably, it is my favorite supplement we have right now, besides Cellchem. Cellchem is the go-to for me, but liposide IR is awesome. You guys feel it right off the bat to make cardio a breeze for you. So I take that as well. I get into my fast cardio for about 30 minutes, what we start with. I like to do the stair climber. And as I go through prep, my cardio is manipulated based off how my body's responding. You know, the tighter I get, you know, I'm probably gonna be dropping the intensity on my cardio to hold on to the muscle mass. So we'll go from a high intensity on the stair climber into more of a steady state on an incline treadmill as we get closer to contest prep, just to help preserve the muscle mass that we have left.
Now, when we talk about supplements, same thing. We need to add in the supplements at the right times. So, number one, when we're doing the foods, they gotta be clean foods. As much as possible, we wanna make sure that we are taking the supplements at the right times. You heard me talk about pre-workouts. Pre-workouts are designed to be taken properly and finished 20 minutes before the workout, so therefore you get the maximum benefit when you pick up and you're doing your first set. Intro workouts should be taken starting your second, maybe your third exercise, at the very least the second, maybe third exercise, because the fact of the matter is you want that at its peak in the middle of your workout when your pre-workout is fading. So supplement timing is super important. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes Evogen a little bit different, so that way you guys start understanding that this is around bodybuilding. This is not designed for people to go out there and run 100 miles. It was not designed for somebody to go out there and, you know, with a bunch of Navy SEALs and not eat for 4 days. This was designed for you to look your best, to get rounder, gain more muscle, so that you can turn around and recover faster, and you can have that three-dimensional look. Everyone asks me, well, why do you spend more money and get fermented products? Do you guys know what fermented means? Raise your hand if you know what fermented means. Okay, there's only 7 or 8 of you that do. Fermented amino acids are amino acids that were not derived from human hair. Do you guys know that 98% of the companies out there are using human hair? in China for your BCAAs? No. Okay, well guess what? You just found out. Okay, so if you want to know why there's a hint of like, you know, sweet and sour chicken, in all honesty, when they run out of human hair, they start using duck and bird feathers to make their products. Since I started Evogen, we've used nothing but fermented sources, which means that the way they make it is that they take feathers, human hair, nails, whatever excrement that they can use. They put it all into these gigantic pots, and then they cook everything, and then they extract the amino acids.
And you're all drinking it.
And you're all drinking it. I hate to say it, but that's exactly how 98% of them are made. But if it says fermented, like it does on every Evogen product, every BCAA, every pre-workout that contains leucine, isoleucine, and valine, or glutamine, is all fermented. So what it means is it's actually grown using a biological source. It's vegetarian. It's actually grown using either corn, or it's being used using sugar cane, or it uses some kind of vegetable source. Those are the same amino acids that are used for the IV when somebody gets sick, a firefighter gets massive burns, and what happens is they put those same fermented sources in your IV. They're not going to put animal sources in an IV. So that's the main difference, because a lot of people don't realize when they see the word fermented what it even really means. It's a cleaner source because a lot of the byproducts end up in your hair. So you have lead, you have pesticides, you have all these things that animal grew up eating or drinking or living near that ends up in their hair, whether it's a person or whether it's a bird with feathers. And that's why we don't use it. That's why I don't use it, because I asked what's the cleanest source. They said injectable grade, fermented. I said that's what's approved by the FDA to go into an IV. That's what I use in my products, fermented. So that's the number one difference that I just taught you guys. So when you go and talk to a store owner near you and you ask them, is that fermented? Or you read the back, and people are starting to use it more often now, because I've never used the other stuff. Since 2008, I was the pioneer of this stuff. So last year, up until last year, we used this little product here, Lipeside. And what it was it's a fat burner, and it's a capsulated fat burner. And when we say fat burner, what they're designed to do is they're not going to sit there and help you burn fat and just take the pill. They're designed to help you burn more calories and help motivate you so that you do cardio to burn fat, and helps increase your metabolic rate so that when you do cardio, that you perspire more, and so that you can turn around and be able to get a net gain versus not using one. So you get the added focus, you get the added energy, you get the added thermogenesis. That's what a fat burner does. Problem with the capsule was that when Jeremy was getting on the cardio, he would also mix it with my carnitine product, because I'm a huge believer in carnitine, which also uses different pathways to help burn body fat. And he would take a couple of grams of the carnogen, which is 1 gram of a quad blend of carnitine, and he would take this, and the capsule absorbed at a little bit different rate. And I kept saying to myself, why the hell is nobody coming out with a really good, clean, powdered fat burner so it kicks in faster? I don't have to wait a half an hour before I do my cardio if I'm taking the powder. So now we have this solution, which is Lipeside IR, which has all of the fat burner and ingredients, and even a higher rate that you can titrate up or down by using a scooper. So if I'm being sensitive, I can take a third of a scoop, a half a scoop. Somebody else, like most of the girls, they love stimulants. They'll turn around and be like, yeah, let me do a scoop and a half, a scoop and a quarter. They can do that with Lipeside, and it kicks in less than 5 minutes. So my EVP, which was the original product that doesn't have any caffeine in it, you can literally mix that with the Lipeside, and now you just have a pump product along with a fat burner. So now you just created a fat burning pre-workout. So you get the effects of both. So it gives you the focus, the heat. Just expect to sweat, because you will sweat on Lipeside. So whether it's the Lipeside or the IR. The IR kicks in a little faster, a little harder, so you sweat a little bit more with it.